Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier Phillips. C News is live at noon.
And I'm Nasira Mohammed with sport.
Topping the news at this time, in about 3 hours, the Law Association will be meeting to move a vote of no confidence in the Chief Justice Ivor Archie and other members of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission. A petition was sent out to members of the association expressing a loss of confidence in the CJ and the JLSC. 63 attorneys had signed it in less than 24 hours. Concerns were raised about the appointment of former Chief Magistrate Marcia Seizure to the High Court without completing her partially heard matters. Seizure subsequently resigned, leaving several questions to be answered. This morning, Attorney-at-Law Martin George sought to explain the purpose of a motion of no confidence in such a scenario.
If the motion is carried and persons vote overwhelmingly expressing a lack of confidence in the Chief Justice, then it's a scenario where I think morally questions would arise as to one's ability to continue to lead or head the judiciary when the major constituent body, which has to practice before the courts, has passed a motion expressing a lack of confidence in you.
Similarly, if the motion is defeated, there are no legal repercussions, but more of a moral victory. Well, on Wednesday, a letter signed by the Administrative Secretary to the Chief Justice, Shirlane Peer, sought to clarify some aspects of the appointment of Chief Magistrate Marcia Seizure as a High Court judge. The letter said the appointment of Supreme Court judges is not the responsibility of the JLSC, but rather that of the President. It noted the JLSC is only responsible for informing the President of the vacancies and also to make recommendations on the filling of those positions. The letter went on to say the Commission does not have control over the date of appointments, adding that it is the responsibility of every prospective appointee to place themselves in a state of readiness to assume office. To other news now, President of the Communication Workers Union, Joseph Remy, says he anticipates government will respect the industrial court and not make any hasty decisions to dissolve the Tourism Development Company before conversing with the union. This after the industrial court halted government's decision to dissolve TDC on Wednesday.
The court was very clear to point out to the company that one, the status quo must remain the same, and that they would not expect that the company will do anything that will force the union to have to file or to seek immediate and urgent injunctive relief from the court.
Earlier this year, Minister of Tourism Shamfa Kujo announced during a post-cabinet briefing that the TDC will be replaced by two separate entities, one with responsibility for the tourism product in Trinidad and the other for it in Tobago. Mr. Remy hinted what could take place if an agreement is not met.
Some determination at the end of the day.
Well, two men are now in police custody after police found and seized $13,000 in what is said to be bush rum. The find was made during a raid in 6th Company Village, Princestown on Wednesday between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Police say they found 3 camps and inside barrels, tubing and portable stoves. The suspects, said to be aged 29 and 39, were charged for possession of illicit spirits. Government is working on a whistleblower bill to be taken to Parliament. The Attorney General made the comment as he responded to questions from opposition MP Ganga Singh. The AG said there is need for whistleblower legislation, but it must be formulated in an organized fashion.
Honorable Attorney General, while that the law is being formulated, if members of within the public sector and others provide us truth as information, that is not a crime, is it?
Attorney General.
I think it would be dangerous to just give a cavalier off-the-cuff response to a matter like that. Obviously, persons may give information in some circumstances where it is lawful to do so, but others may do so in breach of the terms of their contract or oaths of office, which may be tantamount to a breach of a statutory declaration for which the penalty is similar to perjury.
The Attorney General was then asked if Parliament should protect people who bring forward information.
I said when members of the public sector, employees of the public sector are hunted in a manner in specific ministries, do you think that the Parliament should provide a shield for those members?
Attorney General.
Yes, I think certainly that the Parliament should, and more so that the ministries and ministers with line responsibility should act with alacrity, deal with investigations into those matters so that propriety stands in the mix. I mean, after all, one can't encourage people to step forward and give evidence of impropriety and not deal with it in a fair and even-handed fashion.
This is the CNews Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. Denny's restaurant in Maraval is no more. The franchise was closed on Wednesday. However, while Denny's has been put out of business, a statement from the management of Grand Slam Restaurants said it is committed to reopening a sports bar and restaurant at the same location. Denny's was a 24-hour franchise. The Attorney General Faraz Al-Rawi says the construction of a Sandals Resort in Tobago will help the diversification of the country. This as he contributed on the motion Joint Select Committee on Vision 2030 in the Parliament on Wednesday.
Company in its day in Trinidad and Tobago spends about 1% of the revenue that Sandals spends on its international marketing. When Sandals markets globally, Trinidad and Tobago can't even afford that form of marketing in the fashion conducted previously by the TDC.
He said jobs will also be created if the resort is to be constructed.
When you raise this position of development, obviously, when you have a plan for a major international like Sandals to come to Tobago, you're talking diversification and jobs and your economy. And when you see a government having already identified the land, transferred the land to the state enterprises sector, that is execution of policy on the trot.
Now it's time for the weather. Hot, sunny and hazy daytime conditions will be interrupted by intermittent cloudy spells accompanied by light to moderate showers, mainly during the afternoon. There is the chance of the heavy shower and thunder shower occurring mainly near western areas of Trinidad. Seas are slight to normal, waves 1.5 to 2.0 meters in open waters, near calm in sheltered areas. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has responded to the call from the Mahasabha's Sat Maharaj to reshuffle his cabinet. On Tuesday, Mr. Maharaj called for Finance Minister Com Imbert to be removed.
Reshuffling of the cabinet. And anybody could make an assessment of the government. Still, that's the right of the citizenry. It still remains the prerogative of the Prime Minister to determine when changes are made and who sits in the cabinet and who doesn't. That's a very onerous responsibility. And as I said to you before, the Prime Minister is continuously looking at the progress or even lack of progress that we would have made and the performances and the issues in front of us, and we make the adjustments as and when they're necessary.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is concerned about the situation in neighboring Venezuela, but is not going to interfere. It's a point Dr. Rowley said he made known to Chile Prime Minister Michelle Bachelet during a private discussion. In fact, he said it came up frontally and forcefully. Dr. Rowley also noted this country's strong objection to the behavior of the Organization of American States, OAS leader Luis Almagro, who he said engaged the Venezuelan government in a derogatory way. Dr. Rowley said the OAS cannot now be seen as an honest broker for peace. The Economic Commission on Latin America and the Caribbean, ECLAC, wants to take to CARICOM a proposal on reducing the indebtedness of the region. ECLAC is mainly a research-driven organization. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley is to take the word to the next CARICOM heads of government meeting in Grenada in July. ECLAC has found that periodic shocks such as natural and man-made disasters, or in the case of Trinidad and Tobago, price shocks, are mainly to blame for the region's indebtedness.
The gist of the proposal is that with the clerk's imprimatur and support is that we ought to make a major drive for debt relief for all CARICOM countries. And that those developed countries who are carrying that debt should be made not to just write off that those monies, but to put such monies into a fund. And that fund can then be put to the aid of CARICOM countries when shock situations develop.
Chile and Trinidad and Tobago are to cooperate on the development of renewable energy, that is, the use of wind and solar energy. The South American country wants to be a provider and leader in renewable energy. In another 10 to 15 years, it has set a target of supplying 20 to 30% of its power from alternative energy sources. And Trinidad and Tobago, under agreements by 2021, is expected to be using 10% of power through renewables. But it's not clear if that target will be achieved. Chile also produces lithium used in laptop batteries, and it's seen as the next step in the storage of power, and TNT stands to benefit.
And it's against that background that Chile wants to partner with UTT to conduct and to take part in these research so as to advance the economic sides of these things.
We now have Nasira Mohammed joining us to tell us what's coming up in sport. Nasira?
Well, Karen, the new board of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee has been sworn in and they're ready to go. I'll have details on that and much more. Welcome back, and now it's time for sport. The new executive board of the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee was sworn in this morning with some familiar faces taking the oath of office. Returning President Brian Lewis applauded his fellow executives for accepting the challenge and warned that their oaths will be tested, but the TTOC is committed to developing a vibrant and valuable future for all athletes, particularly the younger ones.
To creating a new box and a modern, vibrant, youthful, relevant Olympic committee, Olympic sport movement that seeks to provide the young people and the youth of this country with hope for the future, that through sport they can make a positive difference and contribution to our beloved nation.
After the swearing in, President Anthony Carmona praised Mr. Lewis and the TTOC for the work they have done over the last 4 years, endorsing what he called service leadership exemplified by the TTOC.
Happy to see the kind of individuals who make up this august body, this cadre of competencies, experience, world vision. And I dare say that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee is one that, in no uncertain matter, will carry out the mandate that has been given with the required expertise, competence, passion and commitment.
And on to cricket news now. The Champions Trophy bowled off today at the Oval in England, where the home team are facing Bangladesh in the first match of the tournament. England, under captain Owen Morgan, won the toss and sent the Bangladeshis into bat first. Tamim Iqbal led the tourists to a 305 for 6 total from their 50 overs when he smashed an impressive 128, which included 12 fours and 3 sixes. Mushfiqur Rahim also had a solid total, with the bat contributing 79 from 72 balls. Bowling for England, Liam Plunkett had the best figures, taking 4 for 59 from 10 overs. In their reply, England are currently 206 for 2, with Joe Root on 84 and Owen Morgan on 24, and they're at the wicket. And on to other news now. A new attitude for the TNT men's national football team as they prepare to face the United States in a crucial World Cup qualifier set for June 8th in Commerce City at Dick's Sports Grid Park. TNT arrived in Colorado a week ago, giving the Soca Warriors 2 weeks to prepare in altitude for the hexagonal match, and represents a change in their approach under the direction of Dennis Lawrence, and he's hoping it manifests itself in results as well. A new look TNT team will face a stern examination from neighbours Barbados, starting on Friday at 7 at the Cycling Velodrome in Vancouver. This is for netball. The three-test series is a welcome return for the senior national outfit, which has been inactive for some time. Coached by Wesley Pepe Gomes, the mix of old and new faces will get a real acid test against the buoyant Bajans, who are coming off a stunning upset of world number 4 ranked Jamaica recently, winning that series 2-1 in Jamaica. The matches are set for the Vancouver facility on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, with the first 2 games starting at 7 in the evening and Sunday's encounter starts at 5. 3 members of the national under-21 squad have been included among the seniors to face the Bajans, which will give them some invaluable experience in and among notables like Jolisa Cooper, Candice Guerrero and Crystalline George.
And for more reasons than one, a lot of people have been asking, why not the Jean Pierre Complex? Well, we know the status of the Jean Pierre Complex, and as an international series, and for ranking purposes, we wish to move it to the Vancouver Velodrome. And we hope that we will get the support from all netball supporters and enthusiasts out there.
Admission for the matches is $30 each day, with a weekend pass to all games set for $80 and are being sold at the venue in Vancouver only.
And that's how we end our CNews at Noon report. I'm Karen Kozia-Phillip.
And I'm Nasira Mohammed.
Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.